can't be associated with us if you gonna be.
If you ain't got no money, take your broke home. First class. Up in the sky.
That ain't got nothing to do with what we talking
Champagne. He said you ain't got no money, you can't be with us.
We talking about somebody's character. You can have money and still be trash.
In the fast lane. I mean, but your character is money though. You know how to make some money.
Anywho.
Hey, you're listening to the Quality Cup Life podcast. My name is Imani, and here we believe that in order for young adults who are looking for a better quality life and to live with purpose, you have to pour into your own cup first. Just because you may have missed out on certain things growing up or you didn't have the best start, that does not mean your entire life has to go that way. And in living a quality cup life, we talk about it through a 9-step framework broken up into 3 pillars: mind, body, and money. So thank you for joining us, and let's get into the show. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Quality Cup Life podcast. My name is Imani, and I brought back
Stephone. Hello.
And so how are you feeling today?
I'm doing great. Had some tiny red potatoes with a salad I made at work, so it was pretty good.
It was
my
good.
favorite lunch in a while.
Well, that's very interesting. Cool. So just something random that has nothing to do with this episode. So me and Step over here, we went indoor skydiving, and that was crazy.
Oh, I was wondering where you was going with that. Yeah.
I thought I was gonna die, y'all. I was like, this is what death feels like. Oh no. So it was crazy, cause like in the videos and stuff, and on TV and stuff, it looks super easy. They just be like floating and just hit the flying squirrel thing and they be straight. But like in real life, it's a ton of air like shooting into your face, and I was forgetting how to breathe. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I felt like I had to.
Yeah.
But I think that's the point of them telling us you had to keep your chin up, like as you were.
Yeah, but the thing about keeping your chin up is the air, when you're trying to push air out of your nose, like it's doing the opposite. It's shooting air into your nose.
Oh, I didn't feel that way. I felt better when I had my chin up.
I didn't. I felt like, oh, I'm dying. Like I was just like, no, this is.
Yeah, if we go again, we need one of those premium helmets.
Yeah, because our helmet, it was only a helmet, and then they gave us goggles. But the guy who was training us, or was our teacher or whatever, he had the full
visor.
He had the full motorcycle thing going on with the shield, and we didn't have none of that. So it was just air, just.
What was it called? I fly, something.
I fly.
Yeah, if you guys happen to go, then just pay the extra money for the full.
Yeah, go ahead and get that headpiece.
Yeah, it'll make the experience a lot better.
Yeah. I would do it again, but I gotta go with some money and get me the extra headgear, because that was a no.
I don't remember that being offered.
It wasn't, but I don't care. Y'all gonna offer it today, because I'm gonna give y'all the money. What's up? But anyway, so we are here today because we went to go see the Woman King. That was last Saturday?
Yep, last Saturday.
And it was very interesting. And we pulled up. I wasn't expecting it to be like a theater full of people, because the movie theaters have been very, shall we say, scarce. Like people, I mean, not the theater itself, but people going in there hasn't been as much as it used to be. But when we got there, I was like, oh, there's more people than I expected. And it was our people. So that was cool.
Actually in the theater, or
in the theater?
In our movie, or like just generally there?
In the theater that we were in.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there.
It wasn't like full, but it was more than I was expecting. And it was
the top row was full.
Yeah, it was cool to see our people pulling up. And there was, since it was us, it was a lot of and then when certain things in that movie happened, it was, they was cheering and clapping and stuff. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, we hitting spoilers in this?
Huh?
Hitting spoilers in this?
Try not to. I mean, some things might.
All right.
But yeah, that's why I sent you an email. I was like, try not to spoil
I'll try.
Big parts of the story.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though I was able kind of to predict them anyway, but whatevs. So, Stephone, what are your general thoughts on the movie, sir?
I thought it was a great movie. Like I didn't like have any real expectations about it at all. Like, I didn't really know what to think about the movie, but I went in there open minded. I thought it was really great. I didn't expect to. Well, I almost cried. I had to. I had to hit the with the single teardrop.
But yeah, they got me.
Yeah, I had to suck it up. I was like, you ain't gonna catch me slipping. No, not today. Well, I thought it was a great movie. I'd definitely see it again.
Yeah, me too. We didn't have time before we recorded this, but yeah, I'd watch it again too. We might have to go back, together to see it. Any other general thoughts about it?
This is like an honorable mention thing about the movie, but 2 honorable mentions. I'll be super quick about it. I didn't want to get off topic, but like all the women in that movie, primarily the I forgot what the warrior women were called, but the warrior group.
Dahomey tribe.
Yeah, but they.
The women were. Yeah, I don't remember.
I feel like there's like the Goji or something. It's something with a G, but they all the actresses look good. Like they were stacked. You can tell they put a lot of time and effort into
training.
Yeah, into training and for this movie, but they all looked phenomenal. They all looked like they look like, hey, you come over here, you gonna get this work. Get snapped.
You gonna catch this work.
And it's a specific actress. I told you about her when you saw her in the movie.
Yeah.
I think her name is Shayna West or Shania West. I forgot. But me and Trayvon not Kimothy, but McFadden. Yeah. We've been like fans of her for a while, like online, and it's really cool to see like I feel like I was there with her from the beginning. Because I remember when she was like posting her martial arts stuff, she would like do like little skits with fellow like content creators and stuff like that. And now to bring it to this
fellow
point.
LARPers?
Sure, fellow LARPers. But yeah, she's like her social media is primarily like different weapon arts, martial arts, and she does like a lot of kung fu themed stuff, and she does her own stunts and stuff. And she's been uploading that stuff for years. And she was in. My bad. She was in what was called the Black Widow movie, and now she's in here, and it's cool to see that come to fruition over these years. Yeah.
You went on a whole tangent because you're so proud.
Yeah, it was really cool.
He was like, oh, that's her. Yeah. I'm like, where? Oh, is she right there?
If y'all know, y'all know. Oh, her name is
the
Salmon Rider on Instagram. So if you know, you know.
So that's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I was proud of her.
So. My general, they're a little bit different than yours. I did like the movie. I wasn't, the storyline itself, I wasn't like, wow, I wasn't blown away. Because I could kind of, even though I didn't see the full trailer, I just saw like the little 15, 10 or whatever seconds that they show you on like YouTube real quick. They don't let you like skip over. I would only see that, or I see like the little short version on like Snapchat or whatever. So I didn't fully know what the movie was about. I just knew Viola Davis was going to be in it, and there was some women warriors, and they looked like they was in Africa. That's all I knew. But, so I could kind of predict where the storyline was going, and most of the time I was correct. But I was impressed by the actors, and I knew, of course, Viola Davis is not about to disappoint acting-wise. So I was most impressed by the acting with her, the main character. Her name is Thuso, I think. But her character's name is Naui. Oh, yeah. Her acting was great. And then, of course, like you said, the women being jacked, they look like
stacked. They stacked.
I mean, even Viola, because it's harder. Typically, the older you get to like build muscle, and I know a lot of women have trouble getting their stomach, getting abs, and Viola had abs. I was like, oh. They put that hammer on Viola to get, for her to be at the age that she is, and to be, I don't know what this muscle called right here.
Your traps.
Bro, they had, all of them had the
little incline where it's like.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. Mines are like this. They were like, and they had the curve. I was like, ooh, but.
And also, for a 2-hour movie, the pacing was really good. like I was engaged like the whole movie.
Oh yeah. They get right into it. It's no. They get right into it
the whole time.
And like I was saying with the actors and stuff, the actors were really good because they, I was able to be emotionally connected to the movie.
Agreed.
So that was great. And also I should have said this before, but you might be wondering, what does this have to do with Quality Cup Life? Okay, we're getting there. So I got a couple previous episodes with movies as well. It's kind of like a movie review, but like a twist, getting lessons in like constructive life, applicable life, whatever not just, I don't want to say lessons, but like applicable life things. I can't think of the word I want to use out of the movie. But yeah, so another thought that I had is that I love to see like African people in their natural habitat. That was super cool, because a lot of times in America we haven't had the best visual representation of African people being in Africa. Like a lot of it wasn't like a picture of them thriving or doing well. It's a lot of what I've seen is like feed the children growing up, and okay, the slave trade, but it was like, yeah, so I thought that was dope. What else? Oh, and then this is kind of like a sidebar, so I'm gonna be real quick. We were watching the credits at the end. They had some cool names. Yeah. There was somebody, he wasn't a character in the movie, but he was one of the crew people or whatever that worked on the movie, bro. His name was Dino. Dino. I don't remember what his name is, but I was like, hey, it's Dino.
And Hero.
Yeah, Hero.
There's some other ones, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of their cast and the crew, like, were within the African country area. So, like, I think because you can tell by the names.
It's a continent.
Continent.
Yeah.
My bad.
There you go. The movie was shot in, I think, South Africa.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, in South Africa. But I think a lot of their crew and cast came from there. So.
Yeah, some of them I know at least.
They had a lot of kind of names that you think would come from there. So
yeah, their people might be from there, but they might not actually be from there, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah. All right. What are some memorable moments from the movie?
I have to say it anyway without spoiling. Memorable moments. Yeah. I would say whenever Viola Davis was within the scene, whenever there was a scene with Viola Davis, and she kind of sort of like compromises her not her morals and her values, but like she compromises what she does on a regular, like her how would you say, her character. She compromises her normal character that everyone else is used to knowing, because she's kind of overcome by her emotions at that point in time.
Oh, okay, that's what you're going. Okay.
Yeah, because Viola Davis is like that person in the show. Like everybody reveres her. Well, at least everybody in her group of stuff. But there's like certain scenes where she kind of loses it somewhat, and it just shows that vulnerability that even the strongest people you may look up to kind of, I don't want to say regress, but they have those moments to where they are human. Less Superman status than you thought they were. Yeah. But that's a good thing though. Yeah. Because not everybody is always going to be on 10. So. Yeah,
and everybody human. So I mean, some people have discipline in some areas, but things happen where you yeah.
Yeah, and
try not to say anything.
Yeah, it's so hard. I wish I could just say it directly, but and Izogi, that's the biggest girl that's the closest to Naui, and her sacrifice was probably.
She wasn't the closest to Naui, but you can continue. And
you wouldn't say?
You kind of yelling a little bit too.
Oh, my bad. But Nizogi, her sacrifice is probably very memorable as well. And the point leading up to
Nizogi?
That's the big
her
girl.
Name is not Nizogi.
And she had the nails.
Her name is not
Izogi.
There you go.
Izogi, my bad. It's very motivating because what she taught now we had to do the flip and then remind her who she was, so they can, get out of the situation they were in. So those are probably some of my two favorite moments.
Memorable moments?
Yeah, most memorable moments. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Imani's favorite, not favorite, but some of Imani's memorable moments. I already said this, but the women were look like they hit the gym. They was like Kobe. They was doing 2-a-days, and then they had practice. So I was like, oh golly, and then kind of like what you were talking about with Viola's character. Her name was Nanisca. Was her character's name. She like they were, although the women were warriors and stuff, and like the people outside of the main I guess quarters I guess would be, which is where the warriors were, and then the king and his wives and like the heads of the tribe. Everybody outside, they like looked up to them. They were like super respected and everything like that. But I loved how once they got inside of the quarters or whatever, you could see that they're women. They're women. They're people. They have, they like to sing, they dance, they celebrate. They was in there braiding each other's hair, and they were like, referring to each other as sisters and stuff like that. So I just really liked that part in general, just the theme in general of like they're human too. They bought that life, but they're still human too, and they made it relatable. So I really liked that, and also they didn't play no games. Y'all throats were slit, organs were punctured, people were stabbed, shot. I was just everything. So I was just like, ooh. I was in the theater like this, ooh, and you could hear it, ooh. But but yeah, those are Imani's memorable moments. And then we're gonna get to the nitty gritty of what we like to talk about around here is the lessons what we can pull out of even the simplest of movies. This isn't, one of those simplest of movies, but even I think you can learn a lot from anything if you're paying attention and if you're willing to like look for it and stuff. So some of the lessons that I learned, the first one is Naui is the main character. This girl was so hard-headed. She wouldn't listen to nobody. She was probably the smallest of the group. I mean, and she acted like she had nothing to lose. She said, I'm gonna do what I want to do. That's exactly how she acted. Like she had nothing to lose. And I thought that was very ironic because she was the person with everything to lose. Because, I mean, she couldn't go back home. Like, you can't go back home. Where you gonna go? They already don't like you because you don't listen. And she continued to do what she wanted to do. I was like, this girl is... I mean, she didn't care. And I think... and I think in some instances, I think that it's... I mean, be wise about it, but I think it is sometimes good to do things and be aggressive with things as if you have nothing to lose. And because she was so I don't want to say reckless, because she was so reckless, that ended up working in her favor in some moments. It ended up being the reason why she survived, some of her friends survived. Yeah, it got her. Yeah.
And you know what's crazy about that too?
What?
Because
what's that?
Because even though she was like her Naui as a character, she caused, I guess a better way of saying, she was mischievous in a way. So, but I think one of the reasons they kept her around is because they probably saw in her like, hey, this girl is going to provide us some value whenever we do need to get in the mix. So I say that to make a point that that if you show that you're bringing value, or if you already brought value, or you attributing something to the group and to the main cause, I mean, you're gonna get the leeway sometimes. I mean, because if she was causing a mess, but she wasn't like she wasn't training as hard, or she just gave up easily, she would have been got the boot. Yeah. So not to say you should be hard headed all the time or not listen, but if you making your place or making it known that you're there to help and to progress the group or the cause or whatever, and you make those few mistakes, you're gonna get the pass.
I wouldn't say,
not all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
times.
you gonna get the pass, but I'll say your odds increase of furthering getting the trust of the group or whatever that you're in. Is when you show yourself. I mean, when you show other people how dedicated you are. Mm-hmm. Because at one point in the movie, she was up in the late at night training. So when everybody else was, even the general was asleep. You know what I'm saying? So the another thing that I thought of was I love that they gave the women the choice whether they wanted to stay there or not, because a lot of the women that the new incoming recruitees, whatever, trainees or whatever, they were forced to come to the castle, but they said, if you don't want to be here, you can go, and because this ain't for everybody, and around here in the Dahomey tribe, we are free people, so you can go, we're not about to keep you here. So I thought that was dope that they and then I also thought it was cool that the women that stayed were willing to make the sacrifice. They couldn't have husbands, they couldn't have kids. What else? You might die in battle or be severely injured, and I'm sure there's other things too that I couldn't think of, but that's a risk. That's a high risk that they were willing to take. And I thought that was cool that because they're willing to take that responsibility, they got the respect of everybody around them. All the village people, they got the respect of the king, his wife, most of his wives. One of the wives, she was like, I don't care about none of y'all. I'm going to say what I got to say. But they were respected for their sacrifice. And I was thinking about how that applies to real life, how whatever it is that you decide that you're going to be a part of, or you decide that you're going to do or pursue or whatever, when you get to a certain level and you've passed the training period, so to speak, and you've made your way, I guess, you gonna be respected. People gotta respect you. They couldn't not respect those women, even if they didn't want to. Cause if you ain't respecting women, they was gonna, what you gonna do? You can't do nothing to us, type of thing. So you gonna get, what you say, folded.
You're gonna fold it. You ever pick up a lawn chair before? It's like.
They literally had to be cut to even be able to compete to make it to the final thing. They had to be cut in the competition. So, and that's applicable to real life, because in real life, you gonna be cut in some way. Whatever you getting into, you gonna have to cut you gonna be cut in some type of way. And if you're not willing to go through certain things and go through the trials or whatever, you're not gonna make it to the finals. You're not. And even after they got cut in the running, in the competition, they were getting all scratched and cut up. That still doesn't guarantee that you make it. Because I'm sure some of them girls that got cut trying to get through the hookup, I'm sure some of them didn't make it. That's what it looked like. And then after they got cut, they had to keep running. If you think about it, a lot of people don't want to do that. They get a little scratch, and they I'm good, So I'm trying to think of a tangible example.
Very identical example, but I guess basic training in the military.
Yeah.
I mean, because you got to go through rigorous training for that. And I remember Trayvon telling me about people who he knew that quit. And it's a lot of preparation you have to do They make you train before you go to basic training.
That's what I was hoping you would get to.
They make you train
it's the training beforehand.
for your knowledge and your mind. You got to train how to use the equipment, and then you got to train yourself physically. So if you go through all that, and then if you go through all that, I mean, as you said, you deserve to be respected at that point, because there's so much you have to go through to get to that point.
It's not even a deserve to be respected. You will be respected.
Yeah, and I don't.
Cause nobody in the Marines be like, you gonna respect me. Like, no, like you look at them and you see them, and you see everything that they went through. You like, oh, you like, they demand respect. Another thing, you already said it, but now we're having to remind somebody who they were, like, in the toughest of times for them to, because one of her sisters were like, they were in a really rough situation, and it looked like
down bad.
It looked like it was no way they was gonna get out of there alive.
She didn't want to. She was like,
so
she was like, man.
Yeah, and so sometimes you got to have people around you who can remind you who you are, and like when stuff gets rough and you don't feel like yourself, and you feel like I am in the roughest season of the times, and this is pointless. It's rough, and that's I mean, I'm having a hard time thinking of example. Like, I guess maybe it could be like a breakup if it's somebody that you really, really care deeply for, or and sometimes you can get lost in that, or
losing a loved one or something.
Yeah, somebody close to you passes away, or
failing at a goal,
or if you just lose a friend, not them dying, but they just don't want to fool with you no more, or or whatever, or you lose your job. Like, that's rough too, because a lot of people kind of a part of sometimes people's jobs become a part of their identity, or they associate their identity with their work. And so that can feel like kind of rough at times. And so, yeah, you got to keep some people around you that can kind of remind you who you are. And so I really thought that scene was super powerful.
Yeah.
And it was crazy that somebody that now we looked up to, now she had to look up to Nowie, so Nowie could remind her who she was. So I thought that was dope. And because Homegirl was ready to jump ship. And then I thought that, I'm going to try to be quick, because I'm going to let you talk, because I'm going to talk for a minute. Nanisca, Viola Davis's character, I really thought that it was awesome that, although she was a woman, and at that time women weren't respected as much, except them, because they were like the coolest people ever. But he valued her opinion over almost everybody else's, because I think, from my perspective, because of her leadership, and because she was a warrior, and most of the women warriors were young, if you think about it. And the fact that, yes,
I wanted to touch on what you just said about the king respecting Nanisca. He also respected her because she already had results. She came to him. She would mention something to him with an issue about how he was not necessarily running the group, but just how she may have thought there was another way for it. And she thought there was another way for their solution, and she already was making a solution. So that's probably another reason why he was probably like thought of her word highly. Like he has a wife that he's most likely sleeping with, and a wife that he's going to marry.
Wait, what?
No, I'm saying
he has a wife that he's most.
No,
that's
listen.
His wife.
No, listen. But he has his wife, and then he has like Nanisca. Like they kind of like butt heads somewhat in the movie, but like his wife is kind of like she just there.
She be doing a whole lot of
this. She just be talking, and Nanisca be like, "Hey, I'm gonna tell you this, but here's what I got already. Here's what I got. Here's what we can do." And the homegirl just like, "Well, I don't know about that. Let's try this." With nothing to show for her thoughts, ideas, perspectives.
I wouldn't say it's nothing to show, because I think the reason why he listened to his wife is because she was wise as well. I think she wasn't. I think she was wise. She didn't tell him anything stupid. Like, she wasn't. You could tell that she understood some things. So I think his wife was wise as well, but she wasn't on the Nanisca's level. And what I was saying before was that I think a part of the reason why he respected her so much was because most of the, or at least what it like to me, most of the women who were warriors, they were young. She was like, she older, and she the general, and she's still fighting. Mm-hmm. So she was, and from what I can understand, she'd been a warrior since she was a younger woman. So you talking about making it 19, 20, 15, however many years as a warrior, when they dying you gonna lose. You losing folks. You gonna die
your first day. Some people die their first day.
You gonna lose some people along the way, and somehow she still made it, You that old. So,
yeah.
So that's got to means a lot for kind of like when you were bringing up the military example or whatever. You respect a lot of people who've been in the military for a long time, and not just random people who are in the military, but the people who have been through several wars. Like, you got to respect them people if they made it through Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, and then they was in Nam, and whatever. They done been through several wars, and they made it out. Yeah. So, and then the last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna let you get your spot in, but shoot, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I think I'm good.
You think you good?
Okay, what are some things that you like, valuable lessons that you got out of it that are like applicable to people like us?
I think I got a two-parter from my first point. Mm-hmm. So my first point I got from the movie is guilty by association, because towards the climax of the movie, I'm gonna just say stuff go down. People, basically, it's payback season towards the climax of the movie, and there are some guys we don't even see like causing trouble within like early in the movie, but they get afflicted anyway. Like they get caught by an axe or a knife anyway, cause they there and they with the antagonist of the movie, and so I just said that just to say, like, hey, some of them dudes probably was just passing through, but they was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But they was just associated with the wrong people. And in another way that I kind of thought about guilty by association is the group, because they specified that you can't be around us if you ain't great, or if you not doing what's expected of us to do, because that's what happened when that's what was said. I wish we could remember some what Viola Davis was saying, because that's when the crowd was like, that's when they said
pass
that.
my phone real quick, big dog. Pass my phone.
Oh.
Okay, you can keep talking though.
But that's because there's a scene like in the.
You yelling though.
Oh, there's a scene in the in the training arc or whatever where Naui helps one of her friends, and then after the fact, Viola Davis is like, hey, I mean, that's your dog and all, but you can't be trying to help everybody, because when it's time,
get people killed.
Yeah, when it's time, I mean, because what you gonna do? What you gonna do when you preoccupied with yourself, and then they can't help yourself? They gonna end up getting themselves in danger, or they gonna get you in danger. But I just like that mentality that they had within the warrior group, that that you can't be associated with us if you gonna be.
If you ain't got no money, take your broke home. First class, up in the sky.
That ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about.
He said you ain't got no money, you can't be with us.
We talking about somebody's character. You can have money and still be trash.
In the fast lane. I mean, but your character is money though. You know how to make some money.
Anywho.
In the fast lane.
carry some people around you who are going to hold your character accountable, and what you say you're going to do, they going to hold that accountable to you as well. Because those are, I guess that's kind of similar to what you were stating earlier. But those are kind of people that that's like the best people that make you, I guess, upset. I ain't gonna say upset, but irritated when they try to correct you or to let you know about yourself. Those are the best kind of people to have around, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I mean, although it's uncomfortable, like, correction is what's gonna make you better. I forget it's a scripture in the Bible.
Iron sharpens iron? Something like that.
Not that. I'm thinking about, it's something about discipline. I think it's in Hebrew. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I love the scene when the lady that was super close to Viola's character, Nanisca, and she was real upset, and she was kind of like, I don't think she was trying to yell at her, but she was just so frustrated, and so like her emotions were high and stuff. Mm-hmm. And that lady said, I know you upset, but don't. She was like, I'm not your servant. You ain't finna be talking to me like that. And she had to let her know, boo, we cool and all, but you going too far. Mm-hmm. Come on, let's pull it on back. So I thought that was cool that she was about that life too. So and she was a super, she seemed like a super sweet lady. Like her character seemed like very, like she was, if you needed a friend, she was that friend that you needed, type of thing.
Yeah, she'd been through it all with Viola Davis's character.
Yeah, so she was like, but don't play me though. I ain't one of them.
I ain't the one. I mean, you my dog, but I'm gonna let you fix all that.
Yeah.
Fix that real
together.
quick, and then you come back. Yeah. You know what? I'll come back to you, make it good for you.
But so I was trying to type down. I was trying to type real quick some stuff in the theater. It was two things that Nanisca, Viola Davis' character, said that I was like, I didn't say, you know,
the whole
but
crowd
I was
did
like,
that.
So one of the things she said was, I think when she was fussing at Naui, when Naui went back to help out her friend and stuff, and she was telling Naui that. Or no, it wasn't. It was when Naui was being mischievous and she wasn't listening. She just would do what she wanted to do. And she was trying to tell her, like, I've watched soldiers die because of lack of discipline. And I was just like,
yeah. Yo,
if that ain't true, like, bruh, if that ain't true, we be looking at discipline as if it's a bad thing or if it's about to hurt us, when really it's the very thing that'll save your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in real life, not on the warrior stuff. On some real life, you having the discipline to think about the food that you put in your mouth from day to day, or the drinks that you drink from day to day. Having the discipline to think about what is this going to do for me? Does it actually have any nutrients? Did I have any nutrients today? Like having the discipline to do that will save your life in the future from possible heart attack, high blood pressure. And it's cool and it's crazy because, you know, we don't think about that stuff at our age because
this is on top of what you're saying. Mm-hmm. But I meant to tell you this a few days ago, but in case this person happens to see this ain't no disrespect, but it's just a general lesson for anybody who could be watching. But it was somebody, one of John's, someone John is related to, mm-hmm. and she's like maybe in her mid 30s or early 30s. I don't know how old she is, and she just had a stroke recently. I don't know how serious her stroke was, but of course all prayers to her and her family through this process and stuff. But yeah, I was like, and I don't want to say it in a way where it sounds disrespectful, but she doesn't really, her and other people don't happen to take their health and stuff to like
into consideration.
Yeah, into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And that stuff is important. That's something that has to deal with, you know, discipline. Mm-hmm. And as far as like, what did she say? She said discipline not having discipline get soldiers killed and stuff.
She said, I've watched soldiers die because of lack of discipline.
Yeah, and then and I guess a real world.
Hold on. And when we say die in this movie, I mean people with shot, throats been slit. Like, it ain't no, that it's a blood, splattering everywhere type of die.
And I guess a real world way of thinking about it, you already pointed at one, is like you could die early due to, not taking your health serious and stuff. Yeah. And another way to think about it is like, hope this makes sense, but like your dreams dying in a way. Mm-hmm. Because like imagine like that's good, Uncle Steph. Yeah, imagine like something simple. Like you say you're gonna save 10-20% of your money each paycheck, but you after the third week you stop and now you dipping back into the money you was saving. Imagine if you was keeping that consistently up, not touching it at all for about 2 years or 3 years or however long. Like the effect of that is enormous in comparison to you stopping at the first 3 weeks. And think of how much things you may have been prepared for, or how many opportunities you could took advantage of if you may have done what you told yourself you would have done. Yeah. So.
And I was thinking like not having the discipline to know you're not supposed to be somewhere and be there anyway.
Yeah.
And people be dying, like for real.
Like how I just said.
Being in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. Yeah. And the crazy thing is like. Again, people like around our age, we be thinking we invincible. A lot of people be thinking, oh, I'm fine. Like, I'm not scared of this person. I'm not scared of this. Like, oh, I'm gonna live my life. Ain't nobody gonna touch me. Like, we be thinking we invincible, and it's just like, bro, we really not. And then especially as women, like, I will never get past how some of my like old roommates and stuff like that in college, they would be meeting dudes on Tinder and like be talking to them, and then we'll hop in the car with them. I'm like, bro, could be the serial killer. I'm like, are you serious? Like just stuff like that. I'm like, bro, like, huh? So I'm trying to think, but yeah, just stuff like that. Or if you in college, your grades could die from lack of discipline because you didn't want to study, or you was hanging with your friends, or you didn't. Career. Yeah, your career opportunities could die because of your lack of discipline. Yeah. I mean, or if you trying to get a job somewhere, bruh, die. If you not disciplined with the people that you entertain, that you dating, die. That's death, bro. That's another form of death. Like I know people who have kids by people that they had no business having kids by him. Yeah. You knew he wasn't on nothing when you met him. You knew that, and you decided to date this man and have children with this man, and now you mad. No shade, but now you mad because he not a good father. Like, or it's guys that be sleeping with these women. This is like, bro, you got to be disciplined and be selective, because like you might not have known specifically, but you knew this person was not disciplined, and you was sleeping with him unprotected, and you had a kid with him, and now you mad because they not a good mother, or they being weird with your kid. They don't want to let you see him or whatever. Yeah. You should have thought about that beforehand. Like But anyway, and then then I got one more thing, and I was like, Oh, you want to continue?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to get to the next quote. Go ahead.
But I'm talking about like, I mean, if you want to say what you're gonna say, you can say it. Cause
was it related to what I said before?
No, because I still have other points because you talked down.
I thought you said.
Nah, I said one.
Oh, my bad. Well, I'm gonna say this real quick, and then I'm gonna hop off. So Mr. Yeah, you can go. All right. So the other thing Viola said, or her character said, was to be useful, you must stand on your own. And I was like,
that's when the crowd said.
I wish I could remember what scene this was, but I was like, yeah, when she said that, I don't remember.
It was most likely after they finished the training.
I don't remember. If that's what you say it is, I believe you, but I don't remember. But I was like, because I think a lot of people choose not to be disciplined because they're afraid to stand on their own. And
what you mean?
Meaning, like, I'm gonna go back to the college example or whatever. Like, a lot of people don't want to be on their own, so they'll opt out of studying or preparing for tests, homework, or whatever for the next day because they don't want to be alone. They'd rather be with their friends. Or you don't want to be alone or be looked at as the lame, so you'll get in a car with some people you ain't got no business with. And then, sometimes, stuff happen where y'all end up getting pulled over, or, a car accident happens or whatever, and you shouldn't have been in there in the first place, type of thing. And in order to be, not to sound like a cliche, but in order to be, I'm gonna let you talk in a second. In order to be like extraordinary or to have a non-average life, because that's the point of this whole podcast and brand in itself, is to not be average. And in order to not be average or have an average life, you have to be willing to stand on your own, because 99% of the world is average. So, yeah, go ahead, sir.
Another point that I had was, I don't know if it's more of a point.
But be quick, though, because we run out of time.
Dang, all right. But more of a, I guess more of an observation than like a direct point. But there's like, what would you call it? There's like a friendly rivalry between Naomi and one of the other girls that come into the camp the same time as her. And I just loved, I can't remember her character's name. I think it was like Obi or Odie or something along those lines. I loved her. I loved her like,
she was really pretty too.
Tenacity. Like, she was like she had that I'ma come in here and conquer type energy.
And
like she was like
too.
Yeah, and she said, man, I don't care what we about to do, but I'm about to be the best though. And look though, this is a place she has never been. This is a group of people she has never met.
She don't know nothing
and
about
she
them.
just and she just about to be thrown into not thrown into, like, because they had an option, they had a choice, but she is being let's say presented a type of life where that she has most likely never experienced before. And she's just like, man,
I'm with it.
Let's
go.
I forgot. There's a line in one of Toby Nwigwe songs. He said something like, I'm stepping in the doorway and I'm not tripping. Like, because he coming in hot and ready, and he nothing gonna stop me. Nothing gonna stop me. Like, that's how she kept that energy the entire time she was in the movie. And that was probably like my favorite. She's probably like one of my favorite characters because of that. Not like even like now it was a very competitive character in the movie as well, but Obi she was out here. She was like,
I think she was more about that life, and now he was more mischievous. Now he was about that life too, but I think she more than anything, she was mischievous.
Yeah, and I guess something you could take from that specifically is like Obi did. Obi didn't care about any of the circumstances that was given to her. She knew she had a goal, and she knew what she wanted to accomplish, and then she just did it.
And then the circumstances she was like in before she got to the Dahomey tribe, she saw her way out and she took it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they all had a way out because they were freed, but like she really saw a way out, and for her to be above and way more respected than she ever had before. And it wasn't just freedom she was after. She was after respect and be thriving. Like, and that's the really cool part about her character.
Yeah, and she not to say there aren't like inevitable inconveniences.
Hey buddy, we got like 5 minutes.
Not to say there's not any like inevitable inconveniences in life, but that not to slow you down, but Obi, she was just like, I don't care about none of that. Oh, that's what you need me to do?
None of that.
Don't worry about it. That's what you need me to do? It was done yesterday. Like SpongeBob. Want to see me run to that rock?
I don't remember none of that.
You don't remember that? Dang, never mind. If y'all know, y'all know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But the last point I want to make is to stop talking when you need to stop talking. Because now we like we said at the start, she very hard headed, and there is a scene. This is a reason why I like Viola Davis's character as well, because her stoicism, like throughout, like most of the movie, because there's like a scene where Naomi and Viola Davis meet in the tub. I ain't gonna say what happens, but like now is like running off her mouth talking about, you don't know what I've been through. My life before this was XYZ.
My life be
and
like,
then Viola Davis was like, yeah, but this happened to me. And then now was just like, oh, yep. And then now basically Viola Davis's character goes through her life and what she's been through, and now we just stopped talking. Now we ain't nothing to say, and it's interesting. If you just stop talking sometimes and just listen to what people have to say, like you can really learn something, because they may not
a whole lot of this.
They may not always exhibit like
whole behavior.
No. They may not always exhibit like the trials and tribulations they may have had to gone through to get to where they are. Like Eric Thomas.
I need to come back because I don't know what you're talking about. But
go
ahead.
You all over the place. just
go ahead though. You know what your thought is. They following you. I wasn't, but they got you.
Anyway, Viola Davis been through a lot. She told that to Naomi, and Naomi was like, "Dang, I would never knew." And like if anybody knows who Eric Thomas is in the position he's at right now, no one would have ever thought he was homeless, eating out of trash cans at 16 years old. But it's like you can go through terrible times in your life and still come out on top. But when you like come across like phenomenal people like Viola Davis, for example, in this movie, you need to just listen and talk and let them, give their wisdom to you.
All right, there was one last thing that I thought about as you were talking. Because although Viola Davis's character was Nanisca, she was up here compared to everybody. Nanisca, she was up here, but again with the human aspect, there were some things from her past that she hadn't like resolved and dealt with.
Yep.
And that kind of, I don't care how high up you get, you got to deal with some of your issues. You got to deal with it, because if not, like,
it's gonna take over you.
It's gonna take you down. And she had to make the choice to be either she was gonna be a warrior or be the poor, scared, helpless woman that she was in the past that was bubbling back up to the surface. She had to choose which one she was going to succumb to, I guess. And I just thought that was awesome, because again, like, I think at this age we be thinking like, I'm straight, I don't need to deal with daddy issues, mama issues. I don't gotta forgive this person, do that. Like, I'm straight, I can just move on with my life. That ain't nothing or whatever. But it's just like, but it is though. Like, it's gone. You got to do some. That requires some being real with yourself and some kind of like self introspection and self assessing to be able to do. Because a lot of times that's like a part of the reason why you can't get to a certain point is because you haven't dealt with certain things. You hadn't dealt with your if you married, some people married these days, if your husband cheated on you, you ain't get over it, but you think you can just move past it and never deal with it. Like, nah, you got to deal with it. If you got to deal with the fact that your mama wasn't there for your daddy wasn't there for, like, just certain things, you got to deal with it. Yeah, you gotta deal with it.
And another flaw about Nanisca's character too is that like
I was hoping that'd be the last thing.
Oh,
Cause it's long.
well, never mind.
It's long ahead.
Go.
Okay.
Dang, I don't want to say it to you. I guess I won't say it.
It's long, buddy. Okay, we ain't trying to keep y'all here all day. We hope that y'all are having a wonderful day, night, bike ride, skateboard, homecoming weekend, car ride,
fair season.
No, I mean while they might be listening to this, not some random whatever. I'm talking about what you do when you listen to this, cleaning or whatever it is that you're doing. We appreciate it. Y'all the realest. Thank you. Amen. Goodbye.
Peace.